Well, good morning everybody. I hope you're all having a wonderful day wherever you are. My name is Dr. JD Swanson. I'm the author of Karate Science, for those who don't know me, and welcome to episode number 10 of 15 Minutes of Thought. Well, yesterday, which was a Sunday for me, we had our very first Zoom class, and we had participants from all over the world. It was so wonderful to actually train with people. Again, social distancing is so kind of goofy because in some ways I feel very disconnected from everyone in that I can't train with them in the dojo. But then at the same time, I feel very connected to everyone. So it was just awesome to see you all, and I will look forward to doing it again next week. So what I promised to do today was what we did over our 90-minute class. We did a single drill. And what I promised was to give a nutshell version. I don't typically record my Zoom classes, but what I will do is I'll give a sort of short synopsis of what it was about and just go over some of the major points of the drill that we did. One of the things that always bugs me is whenever you do a drill and it's all set to basically for you to figure out, I like more to think about a particular drill, think about what it's teaching me, and then expand on that. Again, the particular one we do, I use this pattern of movement quite often to talk about different things. I'm going to talk about it strictly in today's class about the single things that were important to us. So, without further ado, hopefully you're warmed up and ready to go. Hey, us. Okay, so the drill was very, very simple. It was a 9-step drill. I'll do it once from the front, once from the back, just for you to get an idea of the motion, and then we'll go through and break down the pieces. So from kame, all that it started off with was 2 chokuzukis, punch, punch. We then rotated down. Okay, in this particular case, I'm moving to my left. I rotate down, make gyakuzuki. From there, agyuke, gyakuzuki. Rotating around shituke, kokutsudachi. From there, pushing in, zenkutsudachi shomen, gyakuzuki. From there, rotating forward, same turn as hand, shodan, gerambarai. And because I'm in limited space, I simply pull back and make oizuki, shomen. This is the idea of the drill. So it was just very, very relaxed, sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more time, just because I had a bad foot in that back stance. Come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. From the other way, my best side arguably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, shift, 9. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, shift, 9. Good, so what I encourage you to do, go through, just work through that a couple of times, and then we'll break it down to specific points. So press pause, give it a go, get it go running in your head. Okay, off you go. Okay, so the second part is now what you want to do is start thinking about motion. And the context I had this is all about hip movement and gradually increasing or shifting ranges of movement. So if you cast your mind back to the first class, when I see a lot of people doing chokuzuki, I see them wobbling their hips. There's multiple things I see wrong. Number one, either they're doing extraneous hip movement and really reaching out, and that's okay if you're practicing kazamazuki, right? So this principle, definite difference and change. From here, I want you to be practicing hip square, right? An oizuki kind of feeling. So remember, as this moves, the hips, of course, will push and squeeze. So thinking push, right? Just like in our first class. Again, they can either go, they only move as far, remember the direction you want your hips to move is to move into your target. So only allow your hips to move as far as the heel can push. 1. Then from here, second, I just push off the rear leg. 2. The idea is to push off the heel in the direction you want. Don't have floppy hip syndrome. This is pointless. Make sure that there's intent and direction to your hip in terms of what you want to do. Whether or not you do the double hip action that I was talking about in my first 15 minutes of thought, which is the push, push, or if you just push off this hip, right? Almost push one up and stop here, or push, then push to square it off. Either of those are slightly different movements and slightly different ways to think about the same motion. If you like, this was covered beautifully 2 weeks ago by Scott Langley in his actual live class, where he was talking about differences in motion, right? All of these, and they're all equal and important. And the thing that he always says, which I think is great, is that idea of this sort of action, this kind of motion of underlying or seeing the underlying principle. So for this, what I want you to think about is pretend everything's connected by a piece of string. Elbow, leg, hip, breath, connection of the hikite hand to teach you the motion. So from here, think elbow, hip. Not click, click, but click. So feel that action. Boom. Then feel the action. Boom. This kind of feeling. So it's two little short movements. Boom, boom. So what I want you to do is I want you to practice just that nice soft action. Notice I'm not expanding through my shoulders or hip. I'm not expanding out this way. It's remaining solid and square. Remaining solid and square. Connected to my hip, connected to the thrust of my driving leg in this particular case. So think about it in those cases. So think here. Also, if you want to change it, you can also think the one, then slam the hip shut, or slam the hip shut. Either or, depends what you're practicing. So practice that first, press pause, give it a go, and then I'll see you in a second. Okay, for the next part, what I want you to think about now is we've got the push, push, very short movements. Now think about the rotation down. So as you make the rotation down, think of Shizentai as being an outside tension stance. I've just got slight weight on the outside edges of my feet. So when I lift this leg, click, wow, I just sort of step down. It's this idea of just lift. I've got the tension there already, just slide into the floor. I can feel that I would split out if I was there. Have that feeling of just push and rotate. Okazaki Senior, Okazaki Sensei, was amazing at this, Teruyuki Okazaki Sensei. He was phenomenal at this. He would, in the first movement of hand shodan, he would simply open his leg, flop and push. And my brain could never put it together how incredibly good he was. There's no way I can do it justice to what he does. But the feeling was very much he would just literally lift his leg, flop, and then his block would happen. It was amazing to see. Just this open, effortless bang. And that's the feeling you want here. It's simply open, no extraneous sort of pull in, shifting weight. Just drop. Have the intent to go in the direction that you want. From here, it's a slightly bigger action. Have that push out, rotate, and drop. That feeling. So I want you to practice just that movement a bunch of times. Press pause, give it a go. Oh, good. Okay, so from here, now think about this motion. 1, 2, big movement. Now from here, as you go into the agyuke, feel the motion from here. Rotate. In this particular case, I want you to rotate through this side, through this hip and this shoulder. That's going to be your axis. Not through here, not through here. You're going to rotate. That's going to shift your body weight back. And what I want you to do, and it's okay to do this, even though my leg is straight, allow it to compress in and down. Don't let it come up. So as I rotate, not this motion, but this. Down. So here, push. Notice I've now got this coiled. If you're a lower rank, you can practice what you should be practicing, which is just this idea here. And again, but for me it's a little bit awkward in my back. It hurts me a little bit to do this motion. Take a little bit of the compression in that leg. I'm not saying bend it and relax. Notice my bum sticks out. Compress in, under, here. This feeling. Then from here, the gyatsuki, simply rotate through the same axis, slam the door shut. So the feeling is here, down, push. I have a squishy floor here. So as I push, I can feel my foot pushing down into into the mat. So again here, feel, compress, push, push. And what's happening is my body center is moving back and then forward. So I'm absorbing my attack in my block, pushing down, not up. And then I'm able to push my center forward into my technique. So I want you to practice just from here. 1, 2. If you really want to go to the extreme, practice going from here, kokutsudachi, driving in. Kokutsudachi, driving in. Or zenkutsu, push. Or straight leg. Any of them is okay, just to develop that motion, that feeling of pushing down into that hip, rotating through this axis. So from here, press pause, give that a go for a little while. Okay, so from here, we've got 1, 2, big rotation, pull back, push forward. Now from here into kokutsu. So have the feeling here, I'm going to rotate on the ball of my foot. My effort in this case is to pull my body weight this direction, to pull myself back. So as I rotate, you can rotate on the heel, depending on your intent, but what will happen is that your body center won't move. For this, I want your body center to shift. This is very helpful with like Jion, kata, like that. So from here, I want you to simply load for Shituke, then feel this hip push. This foot will automatically rotate on the ball into position naturally. So allow here to push. The feeling is as if I grab hold of my handy dandy sort of dance bar here and I'm shifting like in Han Yondan or Han Nidan. This kind of feeling. Except just feel, connect, connect. So this kind of idea. So it's here, load, feel elbow, hip, body, rotation, all together as I rotate. And again, what I'm doing is as I load, my upper body and my hip is already in motion, round. And what I'm doing is I'm keeping the integrity of this knee. I'm leaving it in Zenkutsudachi position. And as soon as I feel a pull in my groin, that's the signal, the kinesthetic signal, the feeling in my body to make this rotation, boom, round. So I'm here, I rotate, I feel this, oh, there it is, there's the pull, the limit of my flexibility, there, bang. Don't make it sort of here, lost, oh, there's no bite, you can't push in that case. Keep the springiness of your tendons. Allow that to happen. Does that make sense? So from here, think load, and you can see here, open, I'm turning, I'm looking. My fake opponent is coming this way. Would I actually do this in real life? Yeah, probably not. But as I'm here feeling, then round and connect into stance. From here, actually let's stop there, press pause, give that a go for a few. Okay, so what we have so far is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, load, connect, connect. Now from here, feel, drive off this back leg, simply push. Don't worry about this leg here, don't worry about your front leg, don't worry about this sort of disconnected approach. This leg will magically move on its own as your hips widen. My hips, well, in most cases, this is skinnier than this. So what will happen is that as I shift from this and as I move, my leg will naturally move. What you've got to be cognizant of is as I switch from kokutsudachi to zenkutsu, is I'm thinking, I'm just trying to angle myself off to the camera well. So when I'm here, I'm thinking this leg, this hip, this elbow, this part, all of this makes one line towards you. I don't push over. Notice how my energy's going in that direction. Think like an arrow. This heel up, out to you is straight in. That's the feeling you want. Your foot will move naturally. This front foot, you're really good at not falling on your face. So just allow this foot to naturally push. Does that make sense? So allow that piece to happen. So we're at Shuto, kokutsudachi, feel, push, in. Nice and easy. So give that a go, press pause, and we'll be right back. Okay, so next one, starting from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, load, 6, 7. Our next one is from here, rotating under, gerambarai. The feeling for this is if I break it right down into sort of white, yellow, orange, green, purple belt kind of thinking, or even brown belt kind of thinking. You want compress, expand. That's the principle of what I'm doing. It's that feeling. It's this here, push, 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 pull kind of feeling. So it's this compression and expansion. Allow that to happen. The only difference is as I make this now, I'm not leaving this leg here and doing this. That looks really healthy, doesn't it, right? You don't want to do that. Feel rather this wonderful turning, squeezing together of the legs. If they come all the way, that's great. They don't have to. You just need the feeling of compression in the lower body. Allow that to squeeze. Slam the door shut. Think of it almost like making shomen. So I'm here, I squeeze, squeeze. Notice they haven't needed to go all the way together. They still have that semicircular arc. I'm not this. They still squeeze and compress in. And this is, when you think about it, this is the same as what we see in Hea Niran. Hea Niran says, compress. Hea Niran says, compress. Then kick and go. So have that same feeling, that same compression. It doesn't say go all the way up. There's multiple practical reasons for that, like offlining to your target and so forth. But the principle in terms of teaching your body how to move, it makes sense. So when we're here, have the feeling of compression, compression. Then expand. Compress, expand. Compress, expand into the motion. And that's really the theme of the last two movements. So it's here, compress, expand. So what I'd like you to do, press pause, give that a go for a couple of minutes. Okay, so here we are. We're in kamae. Push, push, down. 1, 2, rotate, push, compress, expand. Last movement is thinking about what we did in the last lesson, the last class. This idea of squeezing and pushing this time pushing into shomen. So a couple of things that are important. Make sure that you don't, just come back a little bit so you can see my feet. Don't pull and leave all this behind. Don't leave this here. Just take the whole lot for a ride. Try not to lift up. Try and keep your body center down. Pull, push. Pull, push. Pull, push. If it's too hard to do it without any body movement, use the hand. Use this arm to create some sort of connection. So breathe. What will often happen is people will, when they're here, they sort of go, and they find it hard to create sort of that peace in the center. Rather, feel, listen to my breath. So what can help you? Just because quite often we're a little bit upper body centric. Think here, pretend as if you're blocking, or pretend as if you're making kamae, or pretend as if you're punching. 1, 2, right? Or 1, 2, right? So you can be here, 1, 2, or 1, 2, or punch, 1, 2. Those kinds of ideas as you move. So feeling 1, 2, that kind of action. So it's here, last movement, squeeze, block, and in. So press pause, give that a go for a little bit. Okay, so to summarize, here's our motion. So what you want to do is think about all those principles that are tied in here. And everything about this, it's about a smooth way of moving your hips. So feel it initially, just in terms of hip action. Don't be in a rush, don't overpower it. Feel simply push, push, rotate, pull, push, rotate, push, push, pull, push. That kind of smoothness in the action of your hips that's coordinated through your elbows, connected to your hips, connected to your knees, connected to your breath, like what we've been talking about. So you're here. Once you're done with that, you can start to see that certain techniques are kind of tied together. So the first action, right, from here is sort of this push, push, push. Allow that feeling, push, push, push. Then from here, 1, 2, allow. Then from here, allow. Here, then fall down the stairs. Then here, pull the stairs back and punch. Allow that action to happen. So the count would become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Have that feeling with the technique. So with that, try and practice through that. And then we'll come back for one more piece. So the last piece, we're very good at doing it on one side. You also got to do it on the other. So again, feeling here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You've got to be able to, no matter which, if I do it left side forward first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Come on up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the idea. So I hope this helps. I hope this brings back good memories for those who are on the Zoom class. Hopefully not bad memories where you fall over and start quivering, but I hope you enjoy the drill. Again, this particular one, I can pick it apart in multiple different ways. For now, it's about what sort of has been our theme for the first 10 classes, is this nice fluid hip motion and coordination of movement, everything tying together. So with that, that's the end of the class. So as always, just a quick shout out. One of my other good friends up in Canada, Mr. Guy Brodeur, is doing a wonderful set of karate videos as well. I'll put him in the links below. But also don't forget, check out many of the wonderful ISKF participants who are putting stuff out. Greg and Deb Hoplamazian are doing an amazing job. Sean Lee has been putting out some Zoom videos. The Elliots have been doing a lot of good stuff online, training with them. In some ways, this is an opportunity for all of us to train together. And what's important is it's not about it's about providing somewhere for all of us to find a home so we can go back to our real homes. I can't wait, as long as everybody continues to train, once we get back into our regular dojo, I can't wait to bring the things that I've learned through training with all of these other people. It's really awesome, okay? And it shows just how much karate there is on offer in the world. So with that, thank you, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you all later. Hey, us.